Okay guys, second video in the series. I know Jazz has done hers, but we all carry different things on tour. So this is what I pack. Been meaning to do this video for a while, but work's been a little bit hectic, so now we've got a rest day in the Dolomites, and Jazz got around to doing hers, so that gave me a bit of a kick in the arse to do mine. So you'll probably have already seen Jazz's by this point, starting pretty much in the same way she did it, starting with my tank bag. I prefer a tank lock tank bag, same system as Jazz's, because it's just easier to get on and off. In that tank bag you'll find most of my day kit. So Bacon Tour stickers, if you ever see us out and about and you recognise us, come over and say hello, we'll give you a sticker. Camera for stills. I carry the visor wipes for everyone, so anyone needs to clean the visor, I've got that and some anti-fog in there. Pair of sunglasses, my phone, always a spare buff in there. It's really handy. I find them great on a wet day, stops the rain getting down your neck, but on a really sunny day, like we do get them occasionally, you can keep the sun off the back of your neck. My phone and a charging lead in there as well, so that I can pop that charging lead through that little bit in my bag, and if anyone's running out of charge on the phone or the camera or anything, I can just pop that in and have it charging while I'm riding. I'd carry that every day with me anyway when I'm riding, but it's just handy to have that when I'm on tour as well. So completely stealing the format of Jazz's video because I thought it was a good idea. Next is my top box. Now you'll notice I've got a big top box. It's the biggest one that Givi make at the moment, I think. It's the V56 Maxia. Didn't go for it because it's like the biggest top box in the world. I had a V46 before this, but since I moved to a flip front helmet, and I've got a big fat head, and it's an XL, it didn't quite fit in the 46, so I got this primarily so that I can fit my helmet in it. If you've got a top box, guys, keep it light. You don't want to be carrying heavy stuff in it. If you take a look, all I've got in this spare visor. So if you go out with a dark one, clear one. If you go out with a clear one, a dark one. And then I've got my camera bag in there, phone lead, camera leads, the drift that records most of the videos that you see, and a spare GoPro that takes the stuff, which is the rear facing stuff. Carry a tripod, just really good sometimes when you want to catch low light photography and things like that, so just a really small tripod in there. I think I mentioned on my touring tips video, always carry a bottle of water, so just a reusable bottle of water, fill that up in the hotel before you leave. And let's throw that to one side and just take a look. In a bag that came free with a pair of Skechers shoes that I wore for quite a while ago, I just keep just a load of light stuff in here. So some spare earplugs, I've got my waterproofs in there, and a nice bright yellow canary suit is in there for when you need it. I've got a spare high vis. On tour, always carry a spare pair of gloves. It's been handy on this tour when my hands have been soaked quite a few times, so there's always a spare pair of gloves in there. And because my head will either burn in the sun, a sun hat, that's an ancient one but it is my favourite, and if it gets cold like it has on this tour, a bit of a beanie to keep my head warm as well. And again, all of that is stuff I would carry out every day. Spare visor, some waterproofs, earplugs, tripod. There's very little weight in that top box, so the important thing is, if you are carrying that as a day pack or you are carrying it on tour, keep the weight out of it so that you're not carrying a load of weight up high. Only other thing I'd have in there, but the bikes are locked up at the moment, is a pair of disc locks, one for mine, one for Jazz's, and a cable lock. They don't weigh much. I don't carry a big chain when I'm on tour, and there's no reason for Jazz to carry them and me to carry them, so you'll usually find them in there as well. Right, pannier number one, and you'll notice I don't have fancy adventure style panniers for my V-Strom. These are a set of E41s. I've had these for every tour of Europe I've done. I think I bought them probably 20 odd years ago now, maybe not quite that long, but at least sort of 20 years. Do the job great. They've lasted me quite well. This is pannier number 1. So the first thing I'll just make a notice of, just this little bag here. I've got a little thing of WD-40 just in case anyone needs it for anything that gets stuck, and in that bag is everything that you need to tension change. Now I know you won't all have a chain driven bike, but if you do, always good to have stuff to tension the chain. So just a nice extendable ratchet. Okay, I've got a just not a full socket set, but a socket to fit my rear wheel spindle, my dad's rear wheel spindle, Jazz's rear wheel spindle, the Allen keys to adjust Jazz's chain and my dad's chain, and 2 spanners to adjust my chain. You'll find that in there as well, along with a little electronic device like this, just a little thing, and it's a torque measurer, so that when I am adjusting the chains on the bikes, then I can quite easily just make sure that the rear wheel spindle is torqued up properly. And as I say, no point me carrying that and my dad carrying it and Jazz carrying it, so you'll find all the tools in there for adjusting the chain. Don't take up much room. I do have other tools on the bike. They're on a toolkit on the bike, and I'll take you through them in a future video, but that's just something I always carry when I'm on tour. This little bag, I tend to find in one pannier for my clothes, I find it a heck of a lot better to just pack in packing cubes. So this one, a small packing cube, underpants like Jazz, 2-week tour, carry enough for every day. You don't want to be getting nappy rash or crotch rot, so spare pair every day. A pair of trainer socks, probably enough for one every 3 days. As I say, all my clothes are in this box except for the ones I'm wearing at the moment. So yeah, underpants and trainer socks in there. Put my laptop in between my other clothes and those trainer socks bag, because obviously then it's cushioned. So I've just got a really cheap, bought in the sales Lenovo laptop, and in there I've got the laptop, I've got 2 hard drives, and I've got the power cable for the laptop. It's just the easiest way I've found. I know there's other ways of doing it, but just for transferring videos at the end of the day. Just a cheap laptop with a terabyte hard drive. In this bag here you will find 2 pairs of shorts when I'm not wearing a pair, probably 3 evening t-shirts. It's all you need. Let's be honest, you're not going to be, you know, it's a bike tour, it's not some fancy wine tour or anything else, so obviously just a couple of evening t-shirts, shorts, and this bag's great because it's got 2 sides, so as I use my clean clothes, flip it over the other half of the bag, I can put my dirty clothes in there, and then obviously take them to wash them if we do need to wash them if we're away for a bit longer. A lot of people only carry 1 pair of shorts with them, I carry 2. I tend to spill food on them, and if I haven't got a spare pair, I'll spill food on them the first night. Then keep all my riding kit, all my riding stuff in another bag. So probably for 2 weeks 4 pairs of riding socks and wash them on the move. I have a Dare to Be thermal top. I've talked about those in a previous video, so you can watch those. A really thin pair of thermal trousers. Doesn't matter whether I'm wearing leathers or textiles, they're really thin, they don't take up any room. And then some riding t-shirts. I really like these Helly Hansen Leafer tops. Just be careful, they don't like Velcro, and they will pull on Velcro, but I like them. If you wash them, they will dry overnight. And the other thing with them is, if any of you have got a jacket with a waterproof liner on the inside and it's a bit sticky against your skin, they'll stop that sticking. And so probably 3 riding tops, 4 pairs of riding socks, a Dare to Be thermal top, folds up really small, and a pair of cheap thermal under trousers, and that's probably all you need. So in that one, as I say, 3 bags worth of clothes, chain adjusting tools and my laptop. Okay, so the thing I always tend to find on a trip is a bit of a pain in the backside is the and other stuff. So not the clothes, all the other stuff you have to carry. I also find that it's a bit of a problem because this is a lot of the stuff that you will pack and unpack every night, and then you don't want to be packing stuff in such an intricate way at home that when you get out onto your first night you can't pack it back. So 3 bags in here. First one, wash bag. Try and fit everything you need in one, so shaving stuff in one compartment, I've got my contact lens in another compartment, I've got my teeth stuff in another compartment. If you do wear contact lenses, make sure obviously you've got enough contact lens stuff for the entire time you're away. You might want to pack your meds or whatever in that, but again, just everything I need, and I can take that out every night. The way I've got it arranged is, you know, try and leave yourself, if you can, just a nice little slot down the side of the pannier to put that in. Just shoved in the top here so it's easier to get to. Again, only if you've got a chain drive bike, but some form of chain lube. We've got Scott Oilers. I love Scott Oilers. I know some of you will be shouting at me now on the video, but if you're not going to carry Scott Oil, and don't have to carry lube per bike, but one for the bike. So there's Scott Oil, and then you can fill mine, Jazz's and my dad's bike up with it. Make sure you got some form of chain lube with you. And I've got a Givy in a bag. I bought these on sale ages ago, and I tell you what, I should just move that pannier down there and show you what's in this inner bag. So, first things first, I always find it easier, whatever country that I'm going to, just to buy one of these with the right plug on. So this is a cable extension, 3 3-pin plugs, so camera chargers, laptop plug-ins, toothbrush chargers, 4 USBs, phone, camera, etc. and a little bag. I have got in there a little sort of anchor charger with just 4 USBs as well, but that's really handy. A hoodie just in case I get cold in the evening. This is one of the original Bacon Tools hoodie ones we had made, so lasting well, but have something you can just shove in the bag that you don't worry about getting it crumpled. Shoes is always a bit of a problem, I think, if you've got bigger feet. So what I tend to do is just a light pair of walking shoes, and if, like me, you have to carry glasses with you, so my glasses and my spare glasses, just shove them in your shoes to keep them protected. You can always shove a pair of socks in there as well if you want to save a bit of space. A little carrier bag sort of down the bottom. That's just got spare contact lens solution in and things like that, just in case I run out of contact lens solution. So I've just got a couple of bits of spare contact lens solution in it. Spare bag, your panniers start to leak. You might want to throw anything you've got in there. In the bottom of this bag, just a couple of things I find useful, so just in case you get stuck on the side of the road. I have got a puncture repair kit on the bike, but on tour, I think it was about £5 from Wilko's in a sale. A tyre pump. In here, and again it depends how sort of good you are mechanically, but I've got a pair of jump leads, I've got a couple of pairs of cutters. You saw it on the Tour Series last year in Spain when Alison's clutch cable went, so I've now got a couple of spare clutch cables in there. I've got a multimeter just in case anything starts to go wrong with one of the batteries, so again I can test if anything's going wrong. Half a litre of spare oil. You never know if someone's going to burn a little bit, so just half a litre of spare oil. I carry that, and then that's everyone's got access to that. Swimming shorts, sports towel, always handy just in case you get caught out and your hotel hasn't got one. And for me, terrible joints, years and years of battering my joints, doing various things with them. A nice thing of deep heat cream, you'll always find that. And in there as well, if you did want to find, if you did carry any of your meds, you might want to carry that in there as well. So that's pretty much our kit. You can see it folds down quite nicely into the panniers that we've got. Keep it light, don't carry too much. And I'd kind of like to know your comments on that. Is there anything that you think we carry that, you know, when you looked at mine and Jazz's video, that you think we shouldn't, or anything you think there should be in there that we don't? We're not saying it's the ideal way to do it. We're just saying this is so you'll notice that in my kit there's no long pants at all, except my riding pants. I've never bothered carrying any. You're going to be living in your riding kit most of the time anyway, so why bother taking a load of stuff with you? But as I say, comment, challenge, suggest, tell us what you think, and hopefully you find that useful. And between my opinion and Jazz's opinion on her video, you'll probably find something that works for you. But any questions, pop them in the chat box below. And other than that, ride safe guys, enjoy your touring, and we'll all speak to you soon. Hello.